All right, we're back, baby.
We are finally back.
3-week hiatus.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shit in the way.
Tornadoes, flying fences,
Yeah,
school starting,
no power.
no power. We had the
Football.
as all of our listeners know, we had that terrible derecho storm, tornado,
It was so nuts.
a tornado come running through, destroyed fences. We were without power for 2 days, lost all of our food.
2 day home. We lost power Monday,
Mhm.
and then some people got it back on Thursday.
Yeah, I think
And-
we were the Thursday
yeah.
people. The kids spent the night at my parents for I don't know 2 or 3 nights. We slept here in the heat
Yeah,
with the dogs and a battery powered fan, and it was very like no, I can't say that, but it was shitty is what it
yeah.
was.
Becky and I and the boys were like, all right, we'll just fucking ride this thing out. The one thing that worked in our favor is that it wasn't too hot out, like in terms of August weather.
Yeah, could have been way worse.
It could have been way worse. We have gas ovens, so we were able to boil water and like cook like on the stovetop if we needed. And thirdly, we had like a bunch of battery operated like power stuff. So Becky went out and bought like this battery power jack that you can plug stuff into. So like the little stuff, obviously no internet, no power, trying to keep twins busy and like in the daylight, but they have their toys, which wasn't too bad.
Right. They didn't know what was going on.
But yeah, overall, you're just like, oh, man. And we had like the third thing was water. We had running water because we're on city water. So,
right.
So thankfully, like at least it wasn't power outage and you had like well water and there was nothing you can pull up.
Oh, that's right. My parents are on well water.
Yeah.
So they got their power back, thankfully. So that was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite an interruption. And then just, with work and school starting and football starting back up for you.
It was a mess.
So
that was
we had
supposed to be
a little bit of a hiatus here.
It was supposed to be 2 days a week, 2 days. And so Monday was the first day of football. And, we had a nice 2 a day. We were getting ready for, and then bam, that happens. And the crazy part about that storm. So I was standing in my backyard and I'm looking at my phone. They were like tornado warning. I was like, all right. I've seen this before.
Right.
Like you get it all the time. Right.
Right.
So I remember Becky just got home. She was like, yeah, like it says we're supposed to get pretty bad weather. Should I just go get dinner now? And then if we lose power, at least we'll have something to eat.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. So she went over to Jalapenos.
Right.
And as soon as she got there, that's when the storm hit. And I was standing in the backyard. I was like, all right, high winds. I took up my TV down that's outside in the backyard.
Right.
And I'm standing back there with Matt. Matt's in the backyard. And we're looking at the cornfield. And you can see the rain approaching because it's coming like from our west or whatever it is, or our east, and it's coming and it's like literally I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, this is about to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I put the TV in the shed. I get inside to get zip ties to like zip tie my cushions down, like the holder I have for it.
Yeah.
As soon as I grab the zip tie in my hand, I turn around. My grill is now flipped upside down.
Yeah.
It is the most amount of rain I've ever seen in my life for the next 40 minutes. It was just nuts. And Becky got caught in the storm. So we're on the phone. I'm like, yo, you just got to get home. Like, fuck all that. Like, get home. So she's driving home. Trees are falling down. I'm like, we do this for burritos?
There's not much I wouldn't do for burritos.
Oh, I do love burritos.
But I was coming home from work and I meant to scoot out a little bit early. Couldn't. And I'm never nervous driving. I'll drive through anything. I have a large, safe, all-wheel drive SUV.
Yeah.
It was the most nervous I've ever been driving.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Trees are for like in movies when you see like there's like a fireball behind you or things falling and like you're just trying to stay in front of it. That's what it was like. I mean, there was trees and power lines and cars and you get back to the neighborhood and it looked like it exploded. So
fences down everywhere, swing sets flipped on top of each other. I mean, the thing that we're lucky is that we're in a new community and we don't have a lot of mature trees. Like we have one neighbor that does. And they had their shit got wrecked, right? The trees falling on the house and
big time.
This shutting down the street, but it's crazy. I was just at a house yesterday for a team dinner, and they still have these big ass trees on the side of the road from when the storm fell. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, this is just the carnage. I came through this little area is nuts.
The fact that we don't have trees like kind of sucked too because there's no windbreak.
Yeah,
we're just up on this perch.
Yeah,
just getting our shit pushed in,
and we get high winds already where we live, so it was like double. Yeah, that was crazy. And then obviously the not having power things. And the boys turned 1 year old on Wednesday, like during that week.
That's right. We had the party the weekend before.
So the only thing that was a saving grace is that 7 where we go every single Wednesday, like I talked about, they had power on a generator. So we showed up, with our crew that we usually go with on Wednesdays and had their little birthday party. And then Kyle from Hodel, he was our server like he usually is. And we all had party hats on. Like
that's cool.
And then I got the we were singing happy birthday, and like all of 7 was singing happy birthday to the boys. It was pretty funny. Nice. Yeah, it was cool.
Little post-apocalyptic birthday party.
Yeah, they're the youngest regulars they have.
Right.
Sure.
And you got football starting up now, right? Is there a game tomorrow night? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, so we started, that Monday we started 2 weeks in already. We had a scrimmage last Saturday that went pretty well for us, and tomorrow is our season opener at home against a very good football team. But I really like our chances. We have a great group of kids. They're all just good kids.
Right.
Like that's what you
that helps.
Yeah. As a coach, like, you sometimes you get good players who are just, have an ego problem, but we have just really good, like down to earth kids, which is so helpful when you're trying to like coach them, because you really have to be open and receptive to feedback. But yeah, home opener tomorrow. It's going to be, a good one.
I think we plan to be there.
Yeah, it's good. It may rain in the day, but I think at night it cleared up. So I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like 70 and clear. It's going to be like perfect football.
Okay, weather. That works for me.
Perfect.
I'll bring a flask. What?
Yeah, so I won't have a voice on Saturday.
That's why we're doing the podcast today.
Yeah. Just, and that's the reason why I look very tan, is because I've been outside every day with sunglasses on. It's funny because I always wear glasses and or sunglasses. So my tan line, like down here, is, I'll show you.
Yeah.
It's significant.
It is serious.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. You mentioned the kids on the team being good kids. That will ruin an experience for a coach, a parent, a teammate who just isn't used to. There's such a weird generational thing happening these days.
Yeah.
This past baseball season, supremely difficult to coach. And it's not all kids, but a lot of the kids these days, they feel invincible and that they can do and say whatever they want. There's the disrespect of coaches, each other, umpires, their parents. It's shocking and it's frustrating. And, as a coach, I can't be the only one that cares.
Yep.
And
no,
I was in situations where I'm just like, if you don't care and you're not receptive, then I'm not going to continue to beat my head against a wall. I don't like to quit things or run from situations, but at what point is like, okay, well, we need to find a different team in a different situation. Yep. And unfortunately, that's, No,
the one thing I could say that, I really do hope for this, but I feel like the one thing my players can say about me is that, like, I will always give it to you straight, and I am always fair.
Sure.
Like, I'll ride you as much as I would ride the next guy, if they were messing up. But you said it yourself, like the thing that really comes down to it, especially with coaches, it's always, and I always talk to coaches, always same, it's the parents.
Sure.
You have some of these parents that are just trying to live their, through the lens of their child.
Right.
And like live some fantasy dream through their kid. And, they ruin the sport or ruin the activity for them. And you're like, dude, like, you got to put your shit aside as a parent, let the kid play. And you know what? And also have the understanding that, especially when you get to the, varsity level, your child just may not be good enough. And listen, may not be good enough to see. That's okay. May not be good enough to see the field, which is fine. But what people don't understand is our practice players are the only reason why good football teams happen, is because you get kids who understand their role on the team, and they will challenge the starters every practice. And if we had every practice where we were just going against air, we would never get better. We would never perform on Friday. We would never win games because we have an unrealistic expectation of what the opponent looks like. So in my mind, I'm like, if everyone understands their role, and that can just translate into society. If everyone understands their role and does it to the best of their ability, everything works out for the better.
Yeah, it's not just in youth sports that the parenting thing and that you see these kids acting out. Our wives are teachers, right? So we see it all the time.
Yeah.
Just the lack of involvement in their kids' lives, selfishness, inability or just overall disinterest in being a parent. They almost feel like it's a burden, and it translates to the kid. And then the kid comes to school, and it's it's not the kid's fault, but the kid is difficult, and you can't get your arms wrapped around them, and it's a domino effect, and it just makes teaching, coaching, any kind of relationship absolutely miserable. And it does come down to parenting and accountability, and there's not enough of it, and in a lot of cases it's absolutely non-existent. We don't really have that in my immediate circle of friends. I like to think I surround myself with like-minded people and good people, and I don't really see a lot of that. But when I do see it, it's startling. It's just like, it's very easy to be a good person and a good parent. And I just can't relate to those situations where it's just like, how did you let it get this bad?
It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, and I always tell people, like, I don't coach football. Like, obviously I do, right? But I don't coach football. I coach kids because that's all. Like, you think about how you were in, sophomore, junior, and senior in high school, man. You're just trying to figure shit out. Like, you're
shithead sometimes.
You're chasing relationships. You're trying to hang with the boys. You're, a lot of times starting to get into drinking, right? And like socially trying to figure out where you line up. So trying to understand the different dynamics you have on a football team and how you bring that all together for one big, hoorah when you have kids from all different walks of life and all different interests and personalities. That's the key to coaching, is if you could tap into the kid and get them bought in, then like you already are steps ahead of a lot of other football teams.
Yeah, sure. And, and going back to it too, I mean, a teacher is a coach
100%.
And a mentor in a lot of ways too.
100%.
And thankfully, our wives, are able to get through to these kids, and they're, pillars of their respective communities. And that's important, because they don't get this at home. They come to school looking for something. I mean, I can't tell you how many times kids have, accidentally called Heather, mom.
Yeah.
It's
Becky's
all,
I got called mom like 4 times today. I'm like, think of that as a true testament to how much you care about them. They see that. So, and it's good, again, like you said, a lot of times when kids go to school, especially in different, areas of the country and backgrounds, they get to school for an escape. And when that teacher is in the room and they can see that you care,
right?
They can see that they care about you. The kid's gonna be more bought in, right? Trying to actually apply themselves.
Sure.
And obviously, sometimes it would be tough to break, but overall, I mean, kids definitely will see that and respond.
Yeah, I mean, there's, Heather has kids now that are in college because she's been teaching so long, and they come back and they're, I wouldn't have been able to do this if it weren't for you and teachers like you, and that's a super gratifying thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting off that serious subject, we're talking about football. Football season's here. Basically, we're gonna have a football episode or two.
Yeah.
Big fantasy football guy, or do you do it just for the shits? And
I do it just for the shits. You know what it is? I really do it just for the shits, because when I'm with the first pick, the NFL draft, I do it for the shits and gigs, because I used to watch so much football as a critiquer, and I still do as a coach. I have to watch football not as a fan, but as a critiquer.
Sure.
That I really do get burnt out of watching a lot of football, and I'm a huge fan of college football, because I think the product is a little bit better. The rivalries in the sport,
the
traditions, the bands, like everything. Like, I just love the atmosphere.
Sure.
Plus, all these kids are trying to make it to the NFL, right? And some of that has changed with NIL. A lot of them getting paid, multi-million-dollar deals. But most of those kids are just trying to make it. So like, you see every bit of effort, and that's what I just love, because that's the passion of the game, right? And it becomes a business in college, but more obviously in the NFL. It becomes business, and people are making business decisions in the NFL. So like, yeah, I do it for the shits and gigs, but I do enjoy the camaraderie of it. Like trying to make sure I'm competitive. So I'm always, I can't just be like, fuck it, I'll start whoever I want. Like, I'm competitive. I'm gonna try. But what about you? Like, what do you like? Obviously, you like fantasy football, but what do you like about the?
I'm a fantasy football guy, and I like, I like the preparation behind it. I'm not crazy like in the laboratory with Bunsen's and beakers and dissecting game film, but we all know enough where we can put together a competitive squad. And really, it all comes down to, I want to be good enough to be able to maybe beat you and talk a little shit along the way. And it, just like anything, I need stuff to look forward to.
That's
in
true.
Life is hard, and this is one of those things that falls in that category. I won the first year I did the Fox Chapel Fantasy Football League.
Yeah.
Remember what I did to Matt M with Dallas's defense and with Dak Prescott? We were watching it.
Oh my God.
I think we were watching it at your crib.
House. It was at my house. And literally you needed like a miracle game.
I needed like 70 points.
When I say a miracle game, people, I mean an astronomical miracle team performance by a defense.
Defensive touchdowns, blocked punts.
He needed it all. And he was down big. And we're watching, we're like, all right, and then second half rolls around and shit just starts getting weird. All of a sudden, it's like the last 2 minutes of the fucking game, and we're like on the edge of our seats, going like, yo, if they get a pick here, like you freaking won, then they did, right? And it was just,
I just sent Matt M just a single tear.
Oh, dude, it
emoji,
was so nuts.
And that was the worst beat he got. But yeah, that was fun. So I think fun. I made it to the championship, and then Matt and I split the winnings, and then I wound up beating him in the championship. So I won the league, but only got half the money, but got bragging rights. Last year did not go so well.
No, last year I was close. And then I think I was I in the Final Four last year? I think, or was it 2 years ago? Yeah, it was either. I don't think I've ever won a fantasy football. I've never done a lot of fantasy football, but I don't think I've ever won. But yeah, like you said, like it's cool to like. I hope he has a good game. But on Sundays, it's like, it is on Sundays. On Friday I've coached a football game. On Saturday I'm watching college football.
Right.
On Sunday I'm breaking down our game film. So like then trying to watch the NFL on top of it. I'm just like, oh damn. But it is fun to track players and see if they progress. And sometimes you get lucky with a random pick and they get like 40 fucking points.
I know. That's great. That's the fun of it. And Heather knows too. On Sundays from 12:45 to midnight she doesn't schedule anything, and if she does, I'm not expected to be a part of it. She's a real trooper like that. And it's I hate to be that guy, but it's nice to be able to sit on my butt on a Sunday.
Well, I enjoy it a lot more when I'm with people, for sure. Just because also I feel like when I'm watching it, I'll be able to like point out, because I always watch the line whenever I'm watching football.
Right.
I watch the offensive defensive line, and typically I can see if it's going to be a good play just based on, if they're doing their job.
Sure.
Like in my mind. So it's fun to be like, oh shit, did you see that block by so-and-so? And then like they'll play the replay, and then I hear like a reaction like, oh shit. And I'm just trying to spread a little lineman love. But I definitely enjoy watching a game with people more than just, myself, obviously. But just because, again, it brings everyone together, the kind of like camaraderie and shooting the shit with people. That's what I like.
Yeah, I think when I was originally doing fantasy football, it's if my team shit the bed one week, it's just like, I can't tell you how many leagues I just completely punted. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just not going to check in anymore.
Yeah.
But you can't do that now. You would get clowned so bad in this league. You have to at least pay attention.
It's like you're starting 6 guys on the IR.
Yeah.
like, come on, man. Care a little bit. Yeah, I think when you sign up, like kind of like you said, like when you sign up, it's like, all right, listen, even if you're not all in, or if your team is not great, still give the effort, because you still got to push other people, and you're like,
there's a life lesson in there.
There is, yeah, absolutely there is. And plus, you never want to be the guy that just fucking laid down, right?
Right.
It's like, nah, like I'm gonna keep fighting, and then all of a sudden you beat like the top ranked team, and you're like, I'm back, motherfucker.
Right, exactly. Switching gears, so what summer movies have you seen?
Oh shit. Oppenheimer.
You saw Oppenheimer.
I just saw a funny clip on Instagram, I think it was, on Reels. And it was Oppenheimer, and it was the scene, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, so hit mute. But it was a scene where they finally do the testing, and they drop the bomb, and it's just silent, which is cinematically so powerful. Like, you don't have to have, like, and somebody was asking me like, how was Oppenheimer? And I was like, it was exactly what it needed to be. I didn't need to see big explosions and hellfire. Like, the making of the atomic bomb is such a fucking deep realization, like a weapon of mass destruction, that you don't need to doll it up with theatrics.
No, the content's heavy enough. And it was a purely, it was very much a talking film from what I understand. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Jacob wanted to see it with me. I caught wind that there's, a bunch of nudity in it too. So I'm just like, do I really want to sit there with my,
I think it was, right.
You know what I mean? With my 15-year-old, like, I'm not there yet where I want to sit right next to him in the theater and take all that in.
That's fair.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer. I haven't seen Indiana Jones. I haven't seen a new Mission Impossible. Like it's just I've completely lost touch with it. But I'm sitting home running back stuff on Netflix I've seen 100 times.
Yeah.
But I can't find the time to go spend 2 hours and see something new.
Yeah. No, Oppenheimer's the only movie I've seen recently in theaters. It's harder with obviously now, as you know, with kids. So like one night, Becky's mom would babysat for us while we went to a movie. But it was funny. So in that scene, Oppenheimer, I was saying it was completely silent, and a guy fucking farted.
Of course.
So the whole theater just started laughing. During this like really intense scene. I think what is it? Blue Beetle just came out for DC.
The reviews are off the chart.
I heard it was the best DC movie to date. So
DC movies are generally
dark and just dumb.
They're dark and dumb. And The Flash had a $300 million budget. It made $258 and completely petered out.
Yeah.
And so and I was excited about that. Marvel movies they just shit all over DC.
Yeah.
But DC apparently finally put together something good. And people who don't even like comic book and superhero stuff saw Blue Beetle and they're freaking out about it.
Yeah,
it's very like a Spider-Man-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, I heard Blue Beetle was like they were like, they figured it out. Like they finally figured it out.
I think George Lopez is the dad in it too, that's probably hilarious. What is it on the Rotten Tomatoes?
All right, I was looking at the director because I know what's his name jumped over to DC. James Gunn, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Let's see, Blue Beetle, Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes is the word.
Yeah, 78%, which is not bad for a.
That's fantastic. That's better than some Marvel movies and the Disney Plus stuff they've been cranking out.
Yeah, some of the Marvel movies they've been cranking out have gotten a little
it's too silly.
Too silly.
Yeah.
Just like because it was great. It was a really refreshing time when you had some of these serious superhero movies and then like a lot of comic relief, which was great.
Like, look how serious this poster is.
Yeah.
And then you get stuff like She-Hulk, which was fucking whack.
Yeah. Stupid.
And then even the new Ant-Man movie, it was too silly.
Yeah. It's like you're forcing the silly on me. It's like, don't do it. Just do subtle. Subtle's good. Subtle. I mean, what do I know?
I think they're catching wind of all that. They're whacking. Disney Plus is whacking all of the Marvel TV stuff that they had in the works.
It's just not working.
No, it's
Loki. I mean, there's some, right?
Loki's going to be was great and will be great.
Yeah.
But it's just it was just too much and it was all at the same time and really watered it down. So
yeah, because what's the next Marvel coming out? I'm trying to think. I think it's the Captain Marvel. It's like the three
Marvels. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
But then you have the next Doctor Strange movie, which is going to be a direct lead-in to the new Avengers film.
Okay. Did you like the last one? What was it? Some of Madness, Worlds of Mad. The last one where he gets the third eye
at the end.
Did you like it?
It was a true horror movie.
It was freaky.
It was dark. And who was the director of that? He routinely does the dark, haunting, like, intense sort of stuff. God, what the hell was his name? You're looking at it. Sam Raimi. And it was, and Chloe's, I took her with me too, because she's, into that stuff now.
Yeah.
And it was a little intense for her, but it was great.
For those of you who don't know who Sam Raimi is, I'm going to give you a couple movies that he's done. He's done The Evil Dead back in 81.
Mm-hmm.
He's done Evil Dead in 2013. He's done Drag Me to Hell, The Dark Man. So yeah, he's got Evil Dead Rise. That was 23.
Now he's doing comic book movies.
He did Oz the Great and Powerful back in 2013,
which was weird too.
And The Grudge.
The Grudge.
Don't Breathe.
But
you know what he also did? For the Love of the Game with Kevin Costner.
He did do that,
which was a great movie.
He did do that.
That was a great movie.
But I don't mind that so much. I like that different directors get their hands on it too. Just like in the Star Wars films is, different directors, different looks, different perspectives. But I liked what Sam Raimi did with.
Wow, he did the Flintstones back in '94.
That was good. That was with John Goodman.
Wow. Yeah, it was John Goodman. Yeah. Who was Barney Rubble on that?
Barney Rubble was shit. It wasn't Rick Moranis.
It was Rick.
Oh,
it was Rick Moranis.
Good pull. Good pull.
What a fucking pull.
Oh my god.
I'll give you $5 if you know who Betty Rubble was. If you remember,
Betty Rubble was Rosie O'Donnell.
It was. It was. It sure was.
I don't know who Wilma was though.
Wilma, Elizabeth Perkins.
I don't
know what she was. She was in Big back in '88 with what's his name? What's that fucker's name? Oh, Tom Hanks.
Oh, I know. I've heard of him.
Yeah. Duh. Miyoko on 34th Street. She was in a couple films, but wasn't that too big.
All right. When I came in here, it was 2-0 Toronto. It's now 5-2 Orioles.
Fucking Orioles.
I'm just getting all these text messages because I have the chat with the band.
Yeah.
You know, they're all big Orioles guys.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing things like incredible. I love this team. So and so was so into this game, and I'm just like, so I just had to look real quick.
Oh, I got some cool news.
Tell me.
All right, so
you're pregnant.
No, that can't happen anymore.
Oh, no, I meant you are.
Oh, how'd you know? So we've been working on for work. We've been working on NFL deals. You know, I've toured a couple stadiums.
Right.
So we just got word that we're going to be in 5 stadiums this upcoming season.
That's dope.
We're going to be in the Eagles, the Steelers, the Detroit Lions, obviously home base, the New Orleans Saints, and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Solid.
And the cool part about it, I was talking with the the national director about it, and I've helped a couple. Like I didn't do much, but you know, I helped him out. He was like, "Yeah," he's like, "We're gonna have to visit all of these this season," and I was like, "Back it up, rewind. What'd you say?" He goes, "Yeah, we're gonna visit all of these.
You got to see what's doing."
Yeah, he was like, "We're gonna make a big press release about it. We're gonna hit all the stadiums," and I'm like, I get to go to Arrowhead for work. This is freaking awesome.
No, we're gonna do a podcast from one of the boxes,
dude. Yeah, exactly. And that was a cool part. So like when I went to when I toured the Eagle Stadium a couple months ago, you know, we're walking through. I'm seeing like all the back stuff. Most of it, obviously, we're looking at the kitchen and if we can fit our product in there and our equipment. But we were talking back and forth, and we're like, he's like, if you ever want to come to a game, like let me know. We'll get you the box seats.
That's great
and all that stuff. And then that's when we went over to their training facility. I got to see, their meeting room. I got to see their media room, which was freaking awesome. And I met Coach Serrani. Like he was in the cafeteria. Dude, it was crazy. You walk into the cafeteria, they had, it was like kind of like a college cafeteria, if you will. But everything was delicious and didn't make you want to shit your pants.
Right.
Like they had like a burrito bar, they had like a salad bar, they had steaks, they had shrimp. Dude, it was stupid. It was freaking awesome. They had an ice cream machine, and all free, obviously.
Right.
And then they had I think they're a Pepsi team, so they had coolers of Gatorade, Propel, juices, whatever you wanted, you just grab and go. It was awesome.
That's cool. See, jobs are great. Money is good for a job, but these perks and the different stuff that is pretty cool.
That's what sets it apart.
The travel kind of sucks sometimes, but the things you get to do and the things you get to see, I know you and I are both lucky in that.
Yeah.
In that respect, it's not so bad. It's not like having a 9-to-5 where we're just sitting behind a desk. And God bless those people too. There's something to be said about that, but it's just that wouldn't be for me. I know.
Yeah, not at all. Either. No, I'm very lucky for the experiences that I've had, and to continue to have, and I'm very lucky of the position I'm in. And I'm very thankful for it. But it is very cool to have sometimes these little things that pop up that you can be really excited about for work.
Yeah, we've got another reason why the last couple of weeks has been so crazy. We have some potential big changes coming for me at my job, which would mean a lot of travel, but a lot of other good stuff that could change my situation a lot. So it's one of those things too, is what is the balance there? It's like, do I want to be super comfortable and not worry about anything, but I'm
never
gone 8 months of the year, or but it might be one of those situations where like I have to choose between the two, and there is no happy medium. So it's so I don't know. So that's kind of stuff I've been stressing about a little bit. Nothing's really come to fruition quite yet, but it's it very well could, and we'll and we'll see, because I like as much as I like doing stuff, I like being home too. It's weird. When I'm home, I feel like I should be doing something and staying busy. When I'm out, I can't wait
to be home,
to get back home and be in my recliner, like an old fuddy-duddy.
I hear you, man. I'm a homebody. I don't want to go out anymore. I want to hang out with friends at home And
that's the dopest part about being friends with people in the neighborhood.
Yeah, like you don't you're basically home. Like if I want to go home, it's a 3-minute walk. Like Correct. Not even. That's the farthest house in the neighborhood. It's a 2-minute walk.
Yeah, it's not like traveling to Boston.
I'm shipping up to Boston. Whoa.
Poor bastard. Anyway.
God damn it.
Favorite restaurant appetizer.
How about okay, I'm gonna give you it, and then I'm gonna
give it to me,
and then I'm gonna ask you something. I'll give you my favorite.
Okay.
Favorite restaurant appetizer consistently would probably have to be either mozzarella sticks or boneless wings. That's in my mind. Like that's always consistent.
Any particular place?
I'll tell you the best place for appetizers, and that is Applebee's after 9:00 at night, and the freaking chicken wonton tacos are half off, and I can eat 8,000 of those motherfuckers.
I think Applebee's has like the Oriental chicken salad, and you can get fried chicken with it, and it has like the Asian dressing. That is fire.
So Applebee's when I was growing up was like a thing. Like people went pretty frequently throughout the week, and like you can go to an Applebee's like on a Tuesday in the summer, and the place is packed.
Sure.
Packed. Half off appetizers, half off drink, 2-for-1 drinks.
Always with the high school like merch inside.
Yeah, so like, exactly. We had like our picture on the wall. Yeah. And, we felt like freaking famous. We'd go there on Sundays for 25-cent wings. I get 20 of them things, pay $5. Right. It was freaking awesome. But I'm going to give you 5 appetizers randomly, and you have to rank them 1 through 5, but you're not going to know what I'm going to give you next.
Ooh.
Okay.
Let's see if I follow. All right.
So I'm gonna give you an appetizer, and then you're gonna rank it 1 through 5, but you're not gonna know what other appetizers are coming next. So you have to be smart about your placement.
All right, let's try it. Okay.
All right. We'll just start easy with some mozzarella sticks.
Sticks or moons?
Sticks.
Okay. I'm a mozzarella moon guy too.
All right, fuck it, moons.
All right, either mozzarella sticks or moons. I'm gonna go number 2.
Oh, that's solid.
Okay.
Chips and salsa.
Chips and salsa is solid. That's 5.
Okay. All right. Boneless wings.
3.
Interesting. Quesadilla.
4.
Oh, so
my God.
So whatever the next pick is a 1.
It could be.
Damn, it was onion rings.
Onion rings do fuck.
Yeah, I was watching.
Okay, onion rings. I don't get them enough. Yeah, to be honest with you, my favorite appetizer is from Secrets in Ocean City, and it's their jerk chicken. I have a little painting of it.
Oh yeah, it looks pretty good
over there. So I get that. That is my favorite. I also like the bloomin' onion.
Oh, bloomin' onion, so good.
From Outback, Texas Roadhouse one. It's called the Onion Blossom, and it doesn't hit the same.
Bloomin' onion, so good.
Bloomin'
onion. Drop in the comments what's your favorite appetizer and where from.
100%.
There you go.
Favorite mozzarella moon would be at Box Hill in
Box Hill crab cakes were so good.
Box Hill crab cakes are incredible. We were just there.
Do you go to the one
a week or 2 ago?
Did you go to the one that like they bought the place next to them expanded?
Yeah. Yep.
Because there's 2, right? Isn't there a Box Hill and then
there's only one that I know. Box Hill Pizzeria is right up there, and
I think there's 2. There's like maybe it's not called Box Hill, but I think it's the same owner. But yeah, Box Hill Pizzeria, that place, and their house dressing is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
They call it crack.
I get the same thing every time I go. I get first because they have a Coke Freestyle machine.
Yes, they do.
Which is if I could
Premier,
please.
Premier.
So, Mellow Yellow Peach Zero.
Wow. You don't hear that a lot.
No, that's my go-to. I accidentally got a Raspberry Coke Zero. It tasted like medicine. That was fucking garbage. But the Mellow Yellow Peach Zero, crab cake, French fries, coleslaw, cocktail sauce, and tartar sauce for the crab cake. But I mix the tartar sauce and the cocktail sauce together. I'm a condiment guy.
Yeah.
And then I hit it with Old Bay again. So the crab cake in and of itself delicious.
So
I always got to add shit.
It's so good.
So I make it into a whole thing.
Dude. They have very good crab cake. I brought my friends there before to get crab cakes. Very good place.
Phenomenal.
But yes, next time you're there, get their house dressing because it's very good.
Looney's has good jerk tuna. They have jerk
Looney's
tuna
Bel Air or
bites.
Looney's like
Looney's Bel Air.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Looney's Bel Air is good as jerk tuna bites.
Did I ever tell you the freaking Looney's Bel Air story?
No, Matt Class has one too.
Jesus. All right. All right. Here we go. Story time. Okay. The year is probably 2016. I think Becky and I were engaged at this time. So we had our townhouse in Bel Air. So my best friend Duke and his wife Brittany come to visit.
You've told me the story.
Yeah,
continue.
Tell the world now.
Tell the world.
All right. So my friends Duke and Brittany come to visit, and we go to Looney's in Bel Air. From our townhouse to Looney's Bel Air was probably 4-minute drive, right? So we get dropped off because we were all planning on drinking. I was drinking at this time. And we get to Looney's and they got live music and it's a great time. And Duke and I were just, having a couple of drinks, and Brittany and my wife, Brittany's Duke's wife.
Right.
Brittany and my wife were like freaking doing shots of pickleback. Like they're just
pickleback shots.
Dude, they are just nailing shots. I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? Like, what are you doing? So they're nailing back shots, right? Fast forward to the end of the night. And it's probably like 11:30, 12. And they're like, come on, do a shot with us. Do a shot with us. And I was like, me and Duke were like, nah. Like we had a couple of drinks and we're like, nah. So so they were like, okay, pussy. And they kept doing this with a triangle. And I was like, all right, whatever. So we were like, you guys go outside because Becky's mom was picking us up to leave. And Duke and I will pay the bill and then we'll meet you outside. So we get outside. Becky and Brittany are in the car. I go to get in and they're all screaming. Like Brittany, her mom, and Beck, they're screaming at each other. Like, are you kidding me? What? I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? And when you have two inebriated people in your car, if you're a sober adult, you got to tone down the situation so you can just get out of there.
Sure. Right?
Understand who you're talking to in your environment. Just get out of there. So Becky's mom turns to me and goes, that kid over there just called me a CUNT. Like she's God. Like, and I was like, oh, and Brittany, who is one of the sweetest people you ever meet, hops up. Who did? And like jumps across me and Duke out of the car, charging this guy. Becky gets out of the front, charging this guy. And me and Duke like sat in the car for like a half a second. We're like, all right. So we walk up and this is, two Brads and Chads and they were like, scream like, that woman's insane. How dare you? The kid thought her mom was the Uber. So then he like walked up to the door.
I got you.
Yeah. He like walked up to the door, grabbed the handle. She's like, what are you doing? He was like, getting in. She's like, I'm not your ride. He was like, okay. And then said the word.
I mean, make a mistake, but also,
it's 12 o'clock.
Also own it, be humble. You don't got to be calling names.
No. And it's almost like, again, 12 o'clock, people would drink, just get us home. Like
it's the witching hour.
And I'm if everyone who knows me, I'm the one that's like, let's kill the situation, kill the tension, and just get the fuck out. Like there's no need for this. Shit can pop off anytime.
Yeah.
So Duke and I fucking walk up and the way they're standing, they were standing like this. So Duke walks up to this kid and I'm standing next to this kid. I'm just like staring at the side of his face. And we were like, yo, did you call, I think I said my mother-in-law at the time, even though we were just kids, and you call my mother-in-law the C word. And then he was like, hey man, I'm sorry. It was just a big mix up. And the kid that I was standing in front of, probably I had at least like 150, 200 pounds on. Right. I wasn't as big as wide as I am now, but I was pretty big at the time. And he was like, please don't hit me. That's what he said to me. He's like, please don't hit me. And I was like, I'm not going to hit you. Like, right. He was like, I'm sorry. It's a big boy standing. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go. So we get in the car, we drive home. And as soon as we get to the house, Becky's like, you need to see Cole, to her mom, which is our dog. She's like, you need to see Cole. And I'm like, okay. So she runs in the house, grabs Cole, brings him out, brings him back in the house. I'm talking outside in the car. The next thing I know, I walk in and Brittany, Duke's wife, is sitting on the floor. She doesn't feel well. And I'm like, where's Becky? And they're like, I don't know. So I go upstairs, not up there. And we didn't have a finished basement. So I'm like, I don't know where she is. So I go downstairs in the basement. I open the sliding door. She's hugging a stump like this. And she's like, And I'm like, Becky, get in the house. She's like, no, leave me alone. And I was like, Becky, get in the house. She's like, no, leave me alone. I said, Becky, just go inside. She's like, okay. She gets up, she walks in, and like that's the last you see of her for the night.
Yeah.
So now we're sitting in the living room, and Brittany, Duke's wife, is getting sick, but like she's like pretty intoxicated, so like she's kind of like slumped a little bit.
Yeah. And
she's getting sick, and I got Duke a garbage bag so she would throw up in the garbage bag. So she's about mid throw up, and you hear. I was like, what the fuck is that? It was like Becky's mom maybe came back, maybe forgot her phone. I opened the door, Hartford County Sheriff's Office.
Jesus.
So I opened the door. I'm like, can I help you? And they were like, we got reports of domestic violence. Something about someone was beating someone in the backyard by a tree stump. And I was like, no. I was like, no, my wife was, she was my fiance. Oh, she was sick. She's upstairs. As I'm saying this, they both at the same time, it was like in a movie. They both kind of leaned over and they see Duke, who's holding like his lifeless wife's body, head inside the bag. She's sitting like this on the floor, and he's like on the couch with her like in between his knees, and like when I say like the bag was like wrapped around her neck, and he just looks and smiles and kind of waves. It was that's
like from Superbad,
dude. It was so funny. And then they were like, "Have a good night. Maybe we should just everyone going to bed." I'm like, "Sounds good, thank you." Shut the door.
That's funny.
Oh, dude, it was so messed up.
Oh my god.
Sorry for that little story.
Probably the worst I ever felt. The only time I've ever puked into a trash bag was I was drinking Aftershock, and that was like pre-Fireball.
Oh,
that stuff was garbage. It had like sugar crystals in the bottom. It was fucking hangover city. Shit was gross.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, that was like, that was so funny. And the next morning I walk up into the guest room, and Brittany's laying there, and she's super hungover, and I was like, Brittany, you little hungover, pussy. I started doing the same thing. We still laugh about it to today. It was such a funny moment. Like the next day, they were hurting bad, and then they had a 4-hour drive home.
Yeah, hangovers are the worst. You literally wish for death.
Yeah, I've only had like one or two like hangovers, and I was like, this is like dehydrated. I was like, this is the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
but I'm glad I don't have those anymore.
Yeah. Can't get a hangover from edibles.
Not me. I don't know.
Not me. Almost had me in the first half.
That's in the first half.
I've dabbled. Not a huge fan.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan.
Yeah.
I like to keep things straight. Gatorade, oatmeal.
Hey, we healthy living here.
Healthy living only. Salad bar. But the salad bar at Ruby Tuesdays because it's the coldest in the country.
Yeah, that's true. Have you been to the one over here?
I don't mind it.
I've been once during COVID.
Well, when the hotel closed, we were looking for a new place.
So were you testing out the places?
Yes. I went up to Ruby Tuesdays. I met Matt and Laura up there, and I don't know if there was a football game on or if there was nothing on. But like I went up there and like I did my usual. Like I ordered like Long Island iced tea. I would, I'm just like, man, this place is not that cool.
Yeah. Dude,
like I super tried to make it a thing. I tried to make fetch happen and I couldn't do it.
Look at this.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. No, I got you. So yeah, I don't know. So there's not that much cool in our town anymore.
Yeah, I wish that
from that respect,
the Hodel was a very
like
awesome place. Yeah, exactly. It was like, and for those of you who don't know, it was a hole in the wall bar where you can get 18 drinks for $7.
Right.
And pretty much regulars. You guys were regulars. I was not, but you guys were there almost every day. But it was cool because like you would get a text randomly, on a Thursday at 5:00. It's like, yo, we're going to the Hodel to do one.
Yeah.
And then you show up and like they were there for like hours.
Well, the best part is like you could be at a neighborhood party and it was so close. You just dip out, do one, come back, and no one even know that you left.
Well, the best part is the verbiage that came out was like, let's go do one.
Let's go do one.
Let's go do one. I could do one. No, but I think it was just a cool place to have, right? Like, go grab, and other places around here are so expensive. Like, how much did like a drink cost you there?
I'm financing cheese fries from like 3 months ago.
Dude. I mean, like I said, we go to 7 every week, but that's only on Wednesdays because they have pulled pork and it's on special. But like, if you get anything outside of that, you're paying a lot of freaking money.
And that's everywhere nowadays too. But I'd rather spend it at a local place, I guess, than.
No, I agree. So, little local, and I wish they sold their liquor license, so there's not much hope of them getting back into the mix. But it would be cool to have a spot like that again, just to have.
Yep, I agree.
Just to have.
What do you got?
All right, so I was on this little rant of I was going through a video and they were explaining like an origin of a popular saying. I thought it'd be pretty cool to get. I'm going to give you a popular saying.
Okay.
And I want to get your reaction of where you think it came from, and then I'll tell you where it came from.
Okay.
All right. Waking up on the wrong side of the bed.
Waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Like, did that come from like fuck? I can't even venture a guess. It just sounds stupid. Go ahead.
So it's a Roman superstition.
Okay.
It's basically saying positive forces await you on the literal right side of the bed. However, if you were to get out on the left side of the bed, that's some bad energy.
Okay.
So that's
a superstitious thing.
Yeah. Bury the hatchet.
Bury the hatchet. Is that like hiding a murder weapon?
No, but I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with. I'll just give you like a clue, like Susquehannock.
Oh, it's a Native American thing.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a Native American origin. When two tribes would decide to settle their differences and live in harmony,
symbolically bury a hatchet.
Each chief would bring their own war hatchet.
Makes total sense.
In the ground, yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Show your true colors. When someone shows their true colors.
Does that have something to do with maybe in the military there were like a spy and they were wearing the opposing, the opposite side's military garb, and they were really wearing theirs under it?
That's a very good guess.
Okay.
And you're kind of on track. Okay. So back in when they were using naval ships, it wasn't uncommon for ships to hoist multiple flags.
Okay.
But if you were about to, for strategic purposes, but if you were about to attack, you had to show your real flag. If you were to do like attempt to attack, you have to like show your true colors. You have to show your real flag.
Got you.
I got a couple more.
Okay.
Bite the bullet.
Bite the bullet. Where does it come from?
So this comes back from like the 18th, 19th century.
Okay.
And it originated because of outdated medical practices. There was no like anesthesia or anything. So soldiers during like operations on the battlefield would literally bite a bullet to like distract them from the pain.
Yeah, you see like biting like a leather belt. Like I've seen like that kind of shit in movies. Okay.
Do you know what the whole 9 yards, where that came from?
Oh shit! I've heard this before. The whole 9. I know it's a movie. The whole 9 yards. Someone's told me this before and I cannot remember.
I'll give you a hint. Fury.
The whole 9 yards. Is that how long the thing on the tank is?
No, but it's kind of close. So during World War II, fighter pilots were equipped with 9 yards of ammunition.
Oh shit!
So when they say I gave that motherfucker the whole 9 yards, they emptied the clip on him.
Got you. I like that.
Yeah. What about close but no cigar?
Oh, I wouldn't have any clue.
So carnivals used to give out cigars as prizes. So when you would almost win, instead of getting a prize, you would get a cigar.
Not bad.
When you win, you would get cigar. Sorry. When you would win, you get a cigar. So if you were close but no cigar. No cigar.
I like that. See, I say all these things and I just don't.
All right. I got 2 more.
All right. 2 more.
All right.
We'll end on these.
Let's go with 3 sheets to the wind.
3 sheets to the wind. Did you like throw up on your bedclothes and you had to hang them outside on the clothesline?
Not quite. Not quite.
Damn.
So sailors, this came from a sailing.
Okay. Seems like they all do.
Yeah. Being tipsy was a sheet in the wind's eye, and being hammered was a full 3 sheets to the wind. Essentially what happened is when when all the ropes were held down, if 3 were loose, you would be like wobbly on the deck.
Okay.
So you're 3 sheets to the wind and you would walk like you were drunk.
Okay.
All right. The last one. Which one do I want to give you? Cold shoulder. Giving someone the cold shoulder.
Giving someone the cold shoulder. Does that have something to do with like rolling over in bed? And I don't know. No,
it's good. So it's funny because this one's actually the opposite of what of where the origin started.
Okay.
So even though giving someone the cold shoulder today is rude, it was actually regarded as a polite gesture in medieval England. After a feast, the host would let his guests know it was time to leave by giving them a piece of cold meat from the shoulder, beef, or pork?
You could have offered me all the money in the world, and I would have had no fucking idea.
Yeah, I was funny. I mean, like some of these, like I use still, but like today, but I didn't know, what they meant. But
I got you.
A little bit of history, and some of them may be, questionable. But fuck it, no.
Little history, little trivia. We covered coaching, parenting, movies.
We covered a lot.
Salad bars, appetizers. This was we gave you everything. We gave you the whole 9 yards. Is what we did. So I don't know. So that's it for episode 6. We're just bullshitting, no real agenda tonight. We might do the same thing next week. We might have something with a little more substance.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe
you just don't know.
Hopefully next week we'll do the football since season starting up. Plus, I'll give you a recap of how we do tomorrow night.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a guest or two on, and we'll talk about favorite personal sports memories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then favorite spectator sports memories.
Oh, dude, that's such a good.
Let's do that.
I love that.
Let's
that's so great.
All right.
Yeah, this has been good. Episode 6 in the books. We appreciate you guys for hanging on and for listening.
Yep. Share it out. Send the link out. We're on YouTube, the Chat Chapel. Send us an email, thechatchapel@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Drop your favorite appetizer in the comments. I'm going to go upstairs and ignore the cinnamon rolls that are in the fridge. And yeah, I think that's it. You got anything else?
No, man. It's been a wild 3 weeks, but Steve and I are back on track.
We back, baby.
We back. We're back.
I hope so. Potentially.